The movie opens with Sunny Kravitz, a travel writer, entering her workplace. As she walks in, she is greeted by her boss Genevieve, who brings her coffee. Although at first appreciative of the gesture, Sunny becomes skeptical of her boss's intentions, assuming that she's going to ask something she'll say no to. The two make their way to Sunny's office, where Genevieve butters up Sunny, congratulating her for the success of her friend's Gals Gone Global travel show. Sunny manages the travel column for the show, which ended up inspiring hundreds of women across the world to travel. As Genevieve discusses new partnerships and hands Sunny a bonus for her hard work, Sunny is over the moon. However, she waits for the other shoe to drop, and her suspicions are proven right. Genevieve, despite promising not to make her work over the holidays, now informs Sunny that she needs her to work during the festive season for the new subscribers for her travel column. Later at night, Sunny is setting the dinner table at home when her friend Brie Ferris, who hosts the column's companion TV show, Girls Gone Global, comes over. She hands Sunny a bottle of wine, asking her to open it immediately. Sunny assumes it's to celebrate their travel spot being a huge hit. However, Brie crashes the party, revealing that she brought the bottle of wine to drown her troubles. She thinks that her longtime boyfriend, Jared, is thinking about breaking up with her. Sunny finds it shocking, since Jared was supposedly planning to propose. However, Brie reveals that Jared wasn't too thrilled about the idea of Brie working during their overseas trip during the holidays, so he canceled their trip and asked for some time to think. Brie finds herself at a crossroads, having to choose between her boss, who wants a new proposal, and Jared, who wants to spend quality time together with Brie during the holidays. Sunny tries to offer solutions by suggesting Brie take the initiative by proposing to Jared. However, Brie turns it down, saying that Jared is the one with the rings. Determined to help her friend, Sunny instead floats the idea of Brie providing Jared with an environment where he can propose to her. Curious about Brie's proposal, Sunny asks her what she has planned, and listens intently as Brie discusses the idea of traveling closer to home. Sunny stumbles upon the perfect idea, one that would allow her to work during the holidays and help Brie get back in Jared's good graces. The next morning, Sunny proposes her idea about a world-class Christmas from home to Genevieve. Although at first skeptical, Genevieve is intrigued when Sunny explains how her parents took a trip to Ireland for their honeymoon right after Christmas and discovered the local tradition of women's Christmas. Inspired, Sunny suggests that they should feature an article with different Christmas traditions from all over the world, with a lead-up to a beautiful holiday proposal. Impressed by the novelty of the idea and the chance to get an exclusive on the proposal of the travel show's host, Genevieve gives Sunny the go-ahead. After the meeting, Sunny rings up her parents explaining that she'll be at their house sometime tomorrow, while also asking their permission to bring home some of her old friends. Her parents approve of the idea, but not before asking if someone named Mr. Bravo will be joining them as well. It seems like Sunny had a special relationship with Mr. Bravo, since she's caught off guard by the question. However, she quickly says that Mr. Bravo, who also goes by Kip, will not be joining them for Christmas. Later at night, Sunny notices a car parked outside her home, which almost looks like Kip's car. She brushes off the idea, only to find Kip in her living room with Brie. Brie apologizes for not informing Sunny before inviting him over. Shocked, Sunny signals Brie to talk to her. Once alone, Brie explains that she only invited Kip since Jared canceled her invite to Sunny's parents' house. However, as Jared's friend, Kip is their best chance to get Jared to change his mind. Sunny is not thrilled about the idea of having to spend Christmas with her ex, but she agrees, in return for a co-exclusive on Brie's engagement. The two women then head back to the living room to fill in Kip. They tell him their plan to create the perfect environment for Jared to propose, by having all of them participate in different Christmas traditions around the world, since the pair couldn't go on their trip. Although intrigued by the novelty of the idea, Kip pauses to ask Sunny's true intentions for doing this. He doesn't want to help her if she's doing it for work as well. Noticing his distaste for her work, Sunny lies on the spot and says that her only concern is getting Brie and Jared back together. Satisfied with her answer, Kip agrees to help the ladies. The next day, Sunny and Brie make their way to Sunny's parents. They greet each other, recalling Sunny's childhood memories from when she had a retainer. Sunny's stepmom asks about Jared, to which Sunny reveals that he will be coming along later with Kip. At the mention of Kip's name, confusion flashes across Sunny's parents' faces. However, she assures them she and Kip are not planning to get back together. The next morning, Kip arrives at Sunny's parents' house with Jared, who's blindfolded. Upon taking off his blindfold, Jared is shocked to find Sunny and Brie standing before him. Although he pretends to be excited upon seeing the two, it's clear that he doesn't want to spend Christmas with them. He finds himself more confused upon seeing the Welcome to Christmas around the world sign that Brie and Sunny put up. The ladies clear the air, revealing they are celebrating 12 different Christmas traditions throughout the week to make up for the trip Jared and Brie couldn't take. Jared is caught off guard by the idea of having to spend the entire week with his girlfriend. However, Brie lightens the mood by saying that it will be just like 2 years ago, when they first met at the bed and the breakfast. Not wanting to dampen the mood, Jared reluctantly agrees to hang around. Later at night, the group sits down for dinner with Sunny's parents as they enjoy light-hearted conversation. Bree points out how they are sitting in the same spots they were 2 years ago. However, there's palpable tension between Sunny and Kip, as she finds herself offended by one of his jokes. Thankfully, Bree diffuses the tension by revealing that they'll be starting off their celebration of different Christmas traditions the next morning by making Swedish rice pudding. Jared seems surprised upon hearing Bree mention Sweden, since it was supposed to be their first stop. He finds the idea cute, suggesting that Bree and Sunny's plan might be working after all. However, Jared quips that Bree is not off the hook just yet. The next morning, Bree and Jared come down to see an enthusiastic Sunny ready to start her day. She steps out to call Kip, who's meditating in the jacuzzi. However, she is caught off guard upon seeing him shirtless. But she quickly gathers herself and asks Kip to show up on time. The two get into a disagreement, signifying that the tension is still rife between the pair following their breakup. However, they call a truce for the sake of Bree and Jared, and Kip agrees to show up on time going forward. Later, Sunny steps into the kitchen to make the Swedish rice pudding. She puts an almond in one of the puddings, announcing that the person who gets the lucky almond will be next to marry, according to Swedish tradition. To make sure Bree gets the pudding with the almond, Sunny marks the bowl with the almond with a red toothpick. Sunny then goes ahead to work on her article while the three wait for the pudding to cool. Right then, Kip comes in and removes the toothpicks from the bowls. Sunny, who had been involved in work before, notices this and immediately jumps up, flustered, asking Kip to step out of the kitchen to talk. She scolds him for taking out the toothpicks, since they were supposed to make sure that Jared and Bree got the pudding with the almond. And Kip would have known about it if he had shown up on time. However, Kip turns the conversation on Sunny, asking her about what she was busy with that prevented her from stopping him from taking out the rice puddings. Recalling her commitment to not work during the holidays, Sunny promises to honor her agreement going forward, provided Kip arrives on time. Frustrated, Sunny steps back into the kitchen and slips another almond into one of the puddings. She then hands out the puddings. Much to her surprise, she gets the one with the almond. However, upon Bree's inquisition, Sunny pretends that she didn't. Her plan works out, since Jared gets the second almond. With one tradition down, Kip asks about what's next on the holiday agenda. Bree shares that they will be having a Wigilia, a traditional Polish dinner for the night, after decorating the tree with fruit, another Polish tradition. Right then, Kip remembers that he has to go into town to get gifts for his parents before the snow piles up, and invites Sunny to accompany him. Although Sunny is surprised by the unexpected invitation, she agrees when Kip explains that he needs her, since he doesn't know any good shops, and it might be a great idea to give Jared and Bree some time alone. While shopping in the store, Kip and Sunny take the opportunity to catch up. It's clear that the two still share a close bond, with Sunny remembering his parents' preferences. Later, as they stroll back, Kip fills Sunny in on the latest developments with the farm he owns, including the recent addition of beehives. Sunny, recalling Kip's long plans to do so, comments on how busy the beehives must keep him. However, Kip manages to provoke Sunny by remarking that his beekeeping endeavors are probably not as demanding as her travels. The conversation takes a turn, and the two find themselves arguing about their breakup a year ago. Sunny believes her excessive traveling was the cause, but Kip corrects her, saying that traveling wasn't the reason. It was the fact that she and Bree stayed in Cabo last year longer than planned, and missed Christmas with his family. Furious, Sunny explains that it was one extra day, and she apologized for it 1,000 times. However, Kip doesn't seem to understand her situation. He believes that if Sunny hadn't stayed that extra day, she wouldn't have been stuck in the storm, and would have made it in time for Christmas with his family. He felt like he was competing with Sunny's job to spend time with her. It's clear that the two have their own version of events, and are not ready to understand each other's circumstances. Back at home, Jared and Bree are decorating the tree. Jared is glad that Bree arranged the around-the-world Christmas, but he's still upset. He knows it was impossible to take a 3-week vacation with the deadline for Bree's proposal. But he's upset, as they both had been planning for that trip for a very long time. He wants to make sure that they are on the same page before they start the next chapter of their life. Bree finds relief in the fact that Jared is willing to meet her halfway, easing the tension between them. Later at night during dinner, the group honors another Polish tradition, where the person who pulls the green straw from underneath the tablecloth will be the next to get married. Eager to find the straw, Sunny and Bree rush to the empty seats. Both of them reach under the tablecloth, but Bree finds the green straw. While everyone celebrates, Jared is skeptical that the game is rigged. To make sure there was no foul play, he gets up and checks underneath everyone's sheet, but finds nothing. After dinner, Sunny is helping her parents with the dishes in the kitchen. Her dad takes the opportunity to ask Sunny if there is something going on between her and Kip. However, Sunny explains that it's only in his head. She opens up about the reason they broke up, explaining how she couldn't attend the Christmas dinner with his family last year. Following the incident, Kip was very upset and asked for space. Emotional and upset, Sunny had told him to take forever, and so he ended the relationship. Upon hearing the story, Sunny's parents tell her that she kind of messed up. However, Sunny doesn't agree. Looking back, she thinks Kip was always giving her grief for traveling a lot. However, her parents try to make Sunny understand that a relationship is about compromise, suggesting she could have traveled less or asked Kip to go along with her. Unbeknownst to them, Kip has been listening in on the entire conversation. The next morning before breakfast, all four of them gather outside for the next tradition on Sunny's list, which involves the women throwing shoes over their shoulders to see who gets married first. With that done, the group heads back inside for the next tradition, which involves placing a cherry blossom twig in a mason jar. According to tradition, the person whose twig blooms by Christmas Eve will be the next to get married. Bree and Jared go first, choosing one to place in the mason jar. When Kip reaches out to go next, Sunny gives him a questioning look, thinking he intends to choose one together. However, Kip clarifies that they can pick separately. Later, the group moves on to the next tradition, which involves burning cedar branches. The person whose branch burns first will be next to get married. However, since Sunny couldn't find cedar branches in town, they have to find some on their own. Kip recalls how the boys and girls got into a friendly competition to hunt for firewood when they first met 2 years ago. He remembers beating the girls and promises to do so again. Enthusiastic, Sunny takes on the challenge. In the forest, Bree finds herself impatient as they pass 2 cedar trees on their way, and yet Sunny insists on walking. Upon her inquisition, Sunny reveals that she knows the perfect cedar tree, one that will help them beat the boys. However, Bree asks Sunny to not lose herself to the competition and to focus on writing her story and reuniting her and Jared. Sunny acknowledges her responsibilities, but finds it hard to work since she's bugged by Kip's presence. Upon hearing this, Bree teases Sunny about still having feelings for Kip. She asks Sunny to give the relationship another try and talk to Kip. However, Sunny loses focus of the conversation as she spots the tree she was looking for. Meanwhile, the guys are picking twigs off of trees elsewhere. Jared confronts Kip about coming down to Sunny's parents just to find out if she still has feelings for him. He then accuses Kip of punishing Sunny for what she did when he shouldn't, because in his opinion, Kip walking away was enough of a punishment. However, Kip turns the conversation on Jared, accusing him of giving up on the girl he loves. Jared defends himself, saying that he didn't leave, unlike Kip who keeps running away. While Kip digests Jared's words, he shifts the conversation by handing Jared the ring he bought for Bree. Back home, the group gets ready to burn the twigs. Sunny is setting up her phone for a fireplace boomerang. However, upon Kip's questioning, she agrees to put away her phone as well, to honor her promise. The two then recall old memories, as Kip appreciates the benefits of traveling with the travel editor and asks her to travel outside of work for herself. Surprisingly, instead of going on the defensive, Sunny finds herself thinking over Kip's words. Later, by the fire, Kip places his hat over Sunny's head to make sure she doesn't get cold. Touched by the thoughtful gesture, Sunny runs her hand through Kip's hair, signifying the newfound comfort between the two. At night, Bree makes her way to Sunny's room to thank her for her efforts to mend her relationship with Jared. Glad that she's able to help her friend out, Sunny reveals her own troubles. She wants to be more present without having an article to work on. However, it's hard to find time for work with Kip suspecting her all the time. The next morning, Sunny's dad takes charge in the kitchen, preparing a holiday feast to celebrate women's Christmas. According to this tradition, all the men are obliged to do everything the women instruct them to do. As the family engages in casual conversation in the kitchen, the bell rings. Bree and Sunny get up to answer the door and are greeted by Bree's brother, Jonathan, and his husband, Victor. Sunny is surprised to see them, since she wasn't expecting them. Turns out Bree called them, since Sunny needed some help with her secret story. Later, Jonathan and Victor join Bree and Sunny in preparations for the next tradition. Bree shares the plan to go caroling downtown. In the middle of the planning, Kip walks in, bringing hot cocos for everyone. He surprises Sunny by adding peppermint to her cup just the way she likes it, a thoughtful gesture that she truly appreciates. Later in the afternoon, everyone is gathered around the table, making ornaments for the tree. Sunny comes in and tells them that she's heading into town to find a caroling spot. However, since she's had a few drinks, Kip offers to accompany her. Sunny tries to turn him down, since she wants to work on her article secretly. However, she is left with no choice when her dad pushes for Kip to join her. In town, as Kip and Sunny walk, Sunny receives a call from Genevieve. Upon answering, Genevieve asks for an update on the article. Nervous, Sunny explains that she hasn't made much progress, since Kip is with her, and she promised not to work. Genevieve suggests Sunny simply lie to Kip, since he's an ex who she doesn't have feelings for. Hearing Genevieve's words stirs something inside Sunny as she realizes she can't bring herself to lie to Kip, acknowledging that she has feelings for him after all. Once the call ends, Sunny once again finds herself torn between her work and her love life. At night, everyone goes caroling. Sunny eases up around Kip as the two crack jokes about accents. The next morning, Sunny's parents are preparing to head out when Bree and Jared come down all dressed up. Bree tells Jared that they are going to help Sunny's parents with some feast shopping for tonight. Jared suspects something is up, but he goes along with it anyway. With the coast clear, Jonathan, Victor, Sunny, and Kip begin setting up for the perfect date night for Bree, and Jared. The idea is to provide the most romantic environment for Jared to propose. While making the preparations, Sunny casually lets Kip know that the detergent sheets he recommended are good. However, Kip quickly realizes that Sunny has been stalking him and confronts her about it. Reluctant, Sunny admits to looking him up from Bree's phone after some glasses of wine. In a surprising turn, Kip acknowledges that he has read Sunny's column a couple of times himself and congratulates her on its success. While Sunny is proud of her accomplishments, she opens up about her desire to travel less, aligning with Kip's earlier suggestions to cut back on work. In a moment of honesty, Kip takes responsibility for his part in the breakup, acknowledging that he could have joined her on trips and hinting at what he heard earlier in the kitchen. He also floats the idea of Sunny writing a travel book, which she had always planned to do once she crossed Europe off her list. Later, the couple step into the back lawn, lit up by lanterns for a romantic night. Kip and Sunny walk hand in hand as well. Kip congratulates Sunny for the night being a success. However, he changes the topic to their relationship, asking about what went wrong between them. Sunny thinks that maybe they both have strong personalities, because of which they both left a lot of feelings unsaid. Kip recalls past memories of how they first met each other, without any intentions of getting into a relationship, and yet ended up falling like crazy for one another. Sunny, emotional and wanting to mend things, apologizes to Kip for missing the Christmas dinner with his family, which Kip greatly appreciates, signifying a turning point in their relationship. The next morning, Sunny is slipping envelopes under everyone's doors when Bree comes out of her room. She asks Sunny to meet her downstairs. Once alone, Bree tells Sunny about her plan to propose to Jared first, and shows her the ring. Although shocked by her friend's determination, Sunny asks her to follow her heart, but Bree plans to wait till tomorrow night, in case Jared wants to propose as well. Bree then asks Sunny about her story, upon which Sunny reveals that she can't do it, as she can't keep lying to Kip. Excited about her friend finally finding the courage to admit her feelings, Bree asks her about what she plans to do next. However, Sunny doesn't have a plan. She's hoping that her boss doesn't fire her. Bree shows her support by hugging her and giving her hope that she'll figure it out. Later, Sunny talks to Kip and learns that Jared is planning to propose to Bree tomorrow night. Once everyone is up, the family gathers at the breakfast table. Sunny thanks everyone for wearing colorful underattire in honor of Italy's holiday tradition. Sunny's mom brings up the king's cake that will be served after the night's French feast. According to Sunny, the cake is typically served 6 days after the New Year, but they are celebrating it early this year. She also lets everyone know about the tiny lucky charm in the cake, and how the one to find it will get to choose his or her prince for the holiday. At night, everyone gathers for the feast. Sunny's mom asks everyone to share their most beautiful Christmas memory, one by one. Upon Sunny's turn, she chooses the Christmas from 2 years ago when she first met Kip. However, she says that this Christmas is giving the first one tough competition, looking over at Kip, signifying that he might be the reason. Later, the cake is served, and much to everyone's shock, Sunny finds the charm. According to tradition, she must choose her prince now. Kip looks over at her in anticipation, secretly hoping that she'll choose him. Much to his disappointment, Sunny plays around by picking up the nutcracker in front of her and pronouncing him her prince. However, she switches things up and grabs Kip's hand. Later, while everyone is cleaning the table, Sunny receives a call from Genevieve again. Sunny steps out and gathers her courage to let her know that she can't give her the story. While she prepares to be fired, Genevieve shocks her by being understanding of her situation, saying that she would never fire Sunny since she is the best writer on her team. Ecstatic, Sunny finds herself relieved. She promises to have an article for Genevieve by New Year's, and even suggests a plan for a travel book, which Genevieve seems on board with. Later, the group is gathered around the table packing gifts for Bree's parents. Sunny thanks Jonathan and Victor for being a part of some of their worldly traditions, since they will be leaving in the morning. However, the mood changes when Victor promises to airdrop the pictures he took to Sunny for her article. Upon learning about the article, Kip becomes visibly alarmed. Realizing the consequences of his actions, Victor goes to the bathroom, and Jonathan goes along with him. With no other choice, Sunny tells Kip the truth. She was planning to tell him soon. However, hurt by the betrayal, Kip doesn't buy her explanations. Kip accuses Sunny of repeating the same mistakes as before, and prioritizing her work over everything. Emotional, and scared of losing the man she loves once again, Sunny apologizes to Kip, confessing that she put her job on the line, all because she loves Kip. However, Kip doesn't see past the betrayal, telling her it feels like last Christmas again. He packs her things, leaving a broken Sunny to tend to her wounds. The next morning, Jonathan and Victor are leaving to meet Jonathan's parents. Jonathan comforts Sunny, saying that everything will work itself out. Meanwhile, Victor apologizes for accidentally slipping up about the article. With Jonathan and Victor gone, Bree and Jared prepare to head into town to get some butter. However, it's clear that they have something else planned. The scene flashes to Jared and Bree at Kip's place. They hand him a gift in the mason jar with his cherry blossom twig, expressing regret about how he won't be sticking around for the rest of the traditions. However, Kip shows no intentions of joining them, given all that's happened. Noticing his apprehensiveness about the situation, Bree offers her opinion. She tells him that the extra day Sunny took in Cabo was because of her, just like her boss pushed her to do the article. She tries to get Kip to see both sides, explaining that Sunny only lied because he left her with no choice. He came between her and her job again, so Sunny might not be the only one responsible, leaving Kip with much to think about. The scene flashes to Sunny sitting on a swing, thinking over her troubles. Bree joins her, letting her know that she met with Kip. Although her words didn't change things, Sunny still appreciates her efforts. The conversation shifts to Sunny having children. She doesn't think she can have kids, since she's always traveling. However, Bree gives her hope, saying that she could make time by working on that book she always talked about. Later that night, everyone gathers by the fireplace, engaging in friendly conversation. As the Yule log, the 9th tradition, burns in the background, Sunny's mom inquires about the remaining 2 traditions. Seizing the moment, Sunny asks the couple to open up their stockings. Jared insists that Bree go first, only for her to find a ring box inside. Right then, Jared gets down on one knee, earning gasps from everyone. He talks about how every day with Bree feels like Christmas Eve, and he doesn't want to spend one without her ever. Bree happily says yes and asks Jared to open his stocking, only for him to find a gold ring inside. As everyone celebrates the engagement, Kip announces his presence by congratulating the couple. Jared thanks him for showing up for his big moment, while Sunny finds herself in shock upon seeing Kip return. The 2 step away to talk privately. Kip surprises Sunny by asking her to turn in her piece about the 12 traditions, since he doesn't want her working during Bree and Jared's party on New Year's Eve, suggesting that he intends for them to go together. He apologizes for reacting poorly to a simple mistake. He only wants to give their relationship a second try, one where they're honest with one another. With the 2 of them on the same page, the pair lean in to kiss one another. However, Kip stops midway to ask if he missed the last tradition. Bearing a cheeky smile, Sunny lets him know that it's an American one, and they're standing under it. Amused, Kip leans in to embrace Sunny in a passionate kiss under the mistletoe, symbolizing the challenges they've overcome and the start of a new chapter.